Oh, what the heck?
What the
Oh,
hell?
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Nah, that's not
The Joe
cool.
Rogan Experience.
Hell yeah, there we go.
Found the right one.
What's up,
What up, everyone?
breadheads? Hello, my breadheads. You got to get all of the news anchor themes as well in there.
Yeah, does
Mhm.
Tucker Carlson have a intro song? Because we can use that as well.
That's a good idea. Play the
Yeah.
21st Century Fox, like, ba-da-boom.
Ooh, yeah,
You got that?
yeah,
No, you don't know that. Dude.
I just riffed all of the sounds I have currently. But yeah, we'll have to download some new ones. And I'm curious, like, how does who is Tucker Carlson?
Who is this Tucker guy?
Who is this
How do you...
fucker? And
Tucker
what
Carlson.
did they? Yeah, is this guy a news anchor or something? Like, how do you even get fired as a news anchor unless you do something very problematic in your personal life?
Dude, I feel like your whole job is just to read things off a screen. So the only way you can get fired is by being a bad reader.
Yeah, he was either a bad reader or was involved in some shady dealings outside of
Mhm.
work, much like
That's true.
our fallen spokesperson.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I have seen many a TV series or movie series dedicated to the inner workings of media companies and the types of abuse and scandal that happens. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tuck got tucked away by one of those.
Actually, I'm seeing a tweet where he basically was. I think there was like some like leaked email where they're like
Mm.
having some kind of confrontation, and uh, fast forward, but apparently he was eating a hot dog that was tucked away in his jacket during his lunch hour, I suppose, or during a meeting. And his response
Mhm.
was, "You can't skip lunch."
No
and
way.
and I think just finding this out now, I think that's a great slogan for this podcast. Ty, you can't skip lunch.
That is a great slogan. I keep my foot long tucked away in the double-breasted jacket pocket. Concealed carrying laws are completely non-existent for
Uh-huh.
sandwiches and hot dogs, despite their shape being very dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't really know anything about this person, but I did a little bit of research for this episode. I did watch
Mhm.
the Nelk Boys interview with Tucker, and I think he's definitely like on some kind of spectrum. Just like the way he talks seems like relatively normal, but then he'll like jump into this insane burst of laughter. Like the way he laughs, it's almost like a child takes over from inside. Like I don't know if you've seen The Exorcist, but it's kind of like
Kinda like that.
like a different like persona just jumps in there for a split second and then it goes back. And it's just like, whoa, is that the same person I just saw? But it actually was.
Well, dude, like, okay, we're all on a spectrum. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a spectrum. It would be
Hmm.
binary.
Hmm.
Um, and those are two things. Spectrums and binary are two things that Tucker's probably got a lot of thoughts on. But I think like we have to sympathize with him a little bit right now because whenever the face of media gets canned, it's bad news for the rest of media. Like you and I are next on the cancellation list.
Ty and I, Ty, you and I have been on that list for since we've started, and look at us
Mhm.
now. Nothing's happened to us, Ty. We've been blessed to, I guess, like have some kind of level of privilege here because we're
Mhm.
idiots.
Yeah.
um,
Chester's
talking about
privilege.
yeah, talking about nonsense. It's like it's harmless. You know what I mean? We can make dumb
Mhm.
jokes. We can make horrible jokes that are like
Mhm.
mean and awful. But it doesn't matter because we talk about Subway. You know?
That's a good point. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
I feel like Tucker would do really well in Subway because he doesn't need to read. And if reading is what got him axed, he doesn't need to look at the menu one bit. He just needs to point at the vegetables
Hmm.
He probably what would go through his mind? He'd be like, "Is the that green lettuce and that green pepper kind of cute? uh, why is the salami so sexy?" Um, Stuff like that. But all he has to do is point. He doesn't have to read, and that's really good for a news anchor that just needs to rest their eyes.
Yeah, totally. Um, and the best part about it, Ty, is like, if you don't have to look at someone in the eyes when you're speaking to them, you're able to
Hmm.
like think a little bit more about like what you actually want in your sandwich, right? You get to look at your options, you get to
Hmm.
evaluate. You don't need to like speak to anybody because they're just to you, they're just two hands, really. They're not anything else than that.
Dude, you keep your eyes like below the top of the sneeze guard. You don't even need to see the
Hmm.
human. It's just they're just hands.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's really cool. It could be
Yeah.
anybody operating them. I I do realize, like, I know I'm kind of beating a dead meatball here, but the fact that Subway is the only restaurant outside of like a chef's kind of omakase space that you can be completely illiterate, have never been in a restaurant before, and kind of figure out what to do. People have always like critiqued Subway for being a little bit um sort of like unintuitive because of the like specific order that you actually have to assemble things, and it's nonconformity to traditional fast food. However, that is exactly what makes it accessible to anybody who has never read a word or doesn't speak the same language as the Subway menu. It's kind of
Hmm.
beautiful in that way, hey?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, Ty. I think like all of that is like slowly changing right now because they just launched the new updated menu here in Canada. So
Mm,
if you're American and listening to this, you've had like the 0 to or the 1 to 12 like number options for like food at Subway.
mhm.
There's
The
like the
Dirty
different
Dozen.
like the dirty dozen. Yeah, we have 15, I think.
We got
Oh wait,
15
hold
foot
on.
long options?
Yeah,
No.
hold on. I took a photo and I remember seeing like more than 12. Hang on.
Yeah, so this is Subway regressing. They're leaning into words, right? Because that's 15
That's right.
pre-made footlongs.
I took a photo while there, Ty, and there's three new deli sandwiches,
Mhm.
four new chicken ones, four
Okay.
new. Okay, here's a cool category: steak and veggie.
Oh, yes.
Because you know why? Because there's only one like veggie one. One veggie one that isn't in the other like Italian section. It's really confusing. Like whoever the graphic designer was in this project, I just like don't envy them at all.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
dude. Well, imagine trying to like you're the information architect of the new Subway menu, and you have to
mhm.
pitch to the board why meat and veggie is a category. Like, how what do you do? Like, how do you sell that one?
To be honest, I think it was the other way around. I think they were like, okay, and we're gonna do a veggie section for all of the vegetarians, right? And then
Mhm.
some old guy on the board is like, what if you just move the veggie one into the steak section?
Yeah, probably.
Make it steak and veggie. Guy's a fucking lunatic. Um, but there's some heavy hitters, Ty. Can I just read you like a few of them that I noticed?
Yeah,
Um,
hit me.
one of them is called one's actually a vegetarian option, mozzarella bella. That was one of the
Oh,
Italian.
yes, the mozzarella bella.
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly, just the name is so beautiful. It reminds me of just, sitting on a bridge somewhere in Tuscany and just letting my black olives fall into the river below.
Mm. Yeah,
Oh fuck.
I love that for you.
Yeah, if a fish were to
You
like swim by and gobble up one of those black olives, it would die like a month later of some kind of like disease.
it immediately float to the surface, and that's how Subway catches their tuna. You know, they bait the fish with the black olives.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Bubble, bubble, bubble to the surface. But yeah, dude, I've heard about this Bella Mozzarella because it has paved the way for pesto to be added to the menu. Pesto is now an option
That's
for
right.
an additional fee if you order it a la carte.
Oh, interesting. So that sandwich is probably one of the cheaper ones. So far it's the second cheapest. The Green Goddess is the cheapest one.
Yeah.
That one does not have pesto. So yeah, I guess it's baked into the price or toasted into the price, I should say.
Hmm. Dude,
Um,
Green Goddess is such a ripoff because I analyzed the Green Goddess. I looked at the vegetable options on it because it's essentially the Veggie Delight repackaged with the house dressing, and then they are charging a premium sandwich price for it. You're paying a premium sandwich price for just bread and spinach.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. Bread and spinach. It has green goddess dressing and house dressing.
Yeah, but I could add that to my Veggie Delight today for free. But they're charging signature
Mm.
sandwich prices for that Green Goddess. So I don't know what the redeeming quality of it is, but it's a bit of a scam.
Well, to be fair, Ty, the veggie patty is more expensive than the green goddess.
That
It's
makes sense
almost
because you
it's a dollar, and it's a dollar, no, 40 cents less than the mozzarella bella.
wow. And these are
Yeah,
Canadian money.
this is Canadian money. That's right. Um, I think the most
So
like what?
I was gonna say you went to Subway today, I believe. Is that true? Or did I
Yes,
just out you
this
to
is
the
true.
listeners?
No, this photo was taken at 12:28 today.
Oh my god.
I went for lunch. That's right.
So
It took a long time for them to get to me. It was I did not feel very taken care of at this subway. I'll be honest.
no way. That's such a surprise. Um, I also went to Subway earlier after our last episode. We'll get to that later. I got a hint of this new menu, and
Oh,
revisiting the macro theme of this episode around illiteracy, I felt like every. Did you notice that they wrote out every single ingredient that they recommended with each sandwich below the name of the sandwich? Like it's in like script font sitting below it. I
yeah,
thought
that's
that
what I'm
was
looking at right
absolutely
now.
bonkers because they could have just put a little icon to represent the vegetable or sauce, like just put a picture of a red onion. You don't need to type out red onion 30 times across this menu. Like they
Really,
should have
I
leaned
would.
in. You disagree?
I think I was gonna have the opposite kind of take on that because there is some iconography already happening. Ty, I don't know if you saw this at your location because new menu apparently dropped yesterday.
Oh wow.
So I don't know how that worked, but like, what is the time to market between like it launching and like it being installed in the store? Like, is like an overnight kind of like a installation happening?
Damn, dude, if that was the case, like all 44,000 locations, they have the night shift artists, the DJs doing the late set.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
that means you're gonna have a sleepy sandwich artist putting together your foot long today because they were up at midnight trying to change the sheets of paper out on the menu.
Hmm. And clearly they haven't figured out like where these new because there's some new meats, Ty.
Hmm.
They're they clearly haven't figured out like where the new meat is going to sit in the like line because
Mm,
I ordered one of them with new meats and the guy had to go to the back to get it.
no
It was
way.
like in the fridge, like somewhere not on the line, not visible to the naked eye. And I saw it on the menu up there, and I was like looking for it. I was like, "Where's this? Where's the capicolo? where's
Wow.
the gabagool, Ty?" Um,
New year, new
and
meats.
yeah, I was a little bit concerned because I saw him like put the salami on and then
Hmm.
the pepperoni, and I was like kind of waiting for him to do the capicolo. I was like, better not like fuck me over here. And then the guy turns around, opens up the fridge, and it's in there in a bucket too. Who knew?
Wow. So I'm glad that must have been a pretty clutch moment for the artist. He probably felt like a hero.
Hmm.
And I'm not talking
But
about the hero footlong.
um, yeah, that's right, man. But let me tell you about these icons real quick. So they have icons going on already. They got vegetarian, obviously, and then they have two little Doritos that symbolize double cheese.
Oh, really? Like a little triangle.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you can see that, but there it is.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
It's like a little stack of Doritos, and then there's obviously the Canadian protein one below that, which is I'm assuming a Canadian exclusive.
Dude, Canadian or like fast food restaurants love to advocate for their Canadian beef.
Hmm.
Something
Hmm.
about it, like I don't care where my beef comes from, whether it's Canada or Mexico
Yeah.
or
Well, you want
I don't
yours
know.
to come from a laboratory, so I
That's
don't
true.
think
I
you're the
would like
right person to ask.
That's a good point. You can put a lab anywhere. Okay, you
Yeah,
tell
you
me.
you want yours to come from a dark basement with like that's just lined with like all these like 3D printers. That's where you want your beef to
Mhm.
come from.
Yeah, dude. It's like a what is it? Like a Bitcoin farm, but for
Yeah,
Beyond Meat.
someone's Alienware laptop is like plugged into the 3D printer. It's printing out like a mammoth meatball for you for your fucking
Yeah.
flatbread.
Shout out to the boys at Nvidia for helping make my next meal.
Hmm. Yeah, powered by Intel.
Mhm. Damn. So
Crazy.
where does good beef come from besides Japan?
Well, that's where the best beef comes from, Thai, but also Alberta is the typical, good beef stronghold. Um, I don't know what it is about Alberta beef that's good, but I guess it's probably just all marketing now that I think about it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They got these like, I don't know, flat landscapes that are good for like mowing down cattle.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can
Yeah,
slaughter
exactly.
cows faster on flat land.
Exactly. You have way more space to commit humanitarian crimes.
Yeah, totally.
So I guess that makes sense. There's also like some states, I guess in like the Midwest that have similar kind of like similar vibe. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. They have the topology that supports the mass
Topology.
genocide of cattle. Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Absolutely. Hmm.
Topography.
Um, yeah, cows aren't really good with hills. I don't know if like your school ever did this, Ty, but apparently it was like popular for like a high school like grad prank to like pull or like move a cow into the somehow transport a cow into the school on the second floor because they're able to go
Hmm.
upstairs but not down. So then you have to like kill the cow in the school to like get it
Whoa,
out.
that's a great prank. I wasn't aware of that one.
Yeah, I don't know where I learned that, but that's kind of stuck with me because I just the image of my principal gutting this cow would be would be hard to get out of your memory.
Dude, it's the same thing as Subway. Like once it's toasted, you have to kill the sandwich. You can't go back.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you create the sandwich, you have to immediately kill it because
Hmm.
the longer you wait, Ty, fans of the show will know. Episode one,
Hmm.
the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Which is
Totally.
why I drove home really fast after I ordered my sandwich.
It's like no, Footlong is the name of the artist. What you're about to eat is Doctor's Footlong.
What? Please explain. I don't know what that means.
Or sorry, Footlong's monster. I ruined my own joke.
Oh, it's a Frankenstein joke. I get it.
Yeah, it's
Dr.
pretty butchered.
Frankenstein. Oh, it's okay.
But that
Well, a
butchering
cow
things
was
is the
butchered.
theme. Yeah, exactly.
A cow was butchered in the making of my sandwich, Ty. But when I got there, I was really confused what was going on. I think this particular Subway takes online orders. So
Mm.
when I got there, it was completely empty, but they were making food. They were just like making sandwiches, and I was like, "Whoa, is there like if those people are in the room right now, do you see them?" Like, um, and so I got there. The guy said hi, and I started my order, but he was like putting like rice on in the toaster, and I was like, "What the fuck? They're toasting the rice tie." I'm like, this fucking Subway. I don't know what's happening here, man. But the guy pulled out from the toaster like a pile of brown rice and
No,
two chicken tenders covered in wrapped in bacon.
dude.
Dude, look at this
This,
shit. I took a
what the?
photo.
Oh my god.
This came out of
We
the
were not
toaster.
allowed. Yo, that's crazy. You know what though? This is the problem with the internet, Eric, is that it inspires anonymity, which inspires people to troll more. So they're probably getting all day. The artists are getting
Mhm.
trolled by people in their zany orders
Mhm.
because they can't like no neckbeard is gonna look that artist in the eye and say like, "Can you toast some rice?" But they'll sure as hell
That
do
is
it
true.
in the Twitter comments.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. But the other thing I realized, Ty, this is extremely critical. The only thing Subway actually has going for it is the fact they're able to supervise the artist making your sandwich and making whatever
Mm.
food you want, right? Because I watched how this guy made this rice bowl for this out of town client,
Mhm.
and it was disturbing to say the least. I think they put their most junior designer on it,
Oh
their most
no.
junior artist. Um, that those chicken tenders that I just showed you, he proceeded to cut them and he was like slicing them up, and then he lifted the paper that they were on, and they all fell through the paper because he had cut the paper as well. So and then it was like a neatly cut like tender with like the bacon was still like on it perfectly, right? And then when he lifted it
Mhm.
up, everything just fell into a pile, and then he
Oh
just like
no.
scooped it with two hands and like dumped it in the middle of the bowl.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, half the bacon didn't even make it into the bowl. And I was like, wow, if that was my sandwich, I would make him start over.
Yeah,
Or
dude.
my bowl, I guess.
This is like totally in support of like every CEO's war on remote work. Like if we can't
Yeah.
see you, we can't trust you.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not sitting at your desk with your Bose noise canceling headphones on, then you're not
Mhm.
working.
Yeah, dude. Keep twiddling that trackpad. Don't let them know you've stopped.
Yeah, exactly. So that was happening immediately in front of me, and then I got my sandwich made, and way better execution, I gotta say.
Well, yeah, you had creative direction.
That's right. Quality
So
assurance was baked in.
you got the capricola. What else did you put on your footlong?
Well, here's where I'm confused because on the menu, like you said, Ty, there's a bunch of vegetables listed below. But as soon as he like put down the meat, he laid meat. He laid down the meat on my sandwich, toasted it, and then was like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What do I want? It's on the menu. Just put that stuff
Mhm.
on." Um, but I just got the exact same stuff, except I swapped out this like cursed sandwich sauce for mayo and mustard because I'm not a fucking psycho.
Good call. Good call. So this is where the miscommunication lies in the new menu is they are making an ingredient recommendation, but you don't know if it's a recommendation or a requirement to get whatever's
Hmm.
on the menu. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was kind of like a who's going to go first here standoff
Hmm.
type situation.
Hmm. Yeah. And as I was kind of like telling him my vegetable requirements, my creative brief, if you will,
Hmm.
they kept like wanting me to like go more, like say more things, even though they were like
Mm.
still in the first one, which was lettuce, right? I was like, "Hey, lettuce,
Hmm.
tomato, onion," and he's like, "Yeah." It's like, "What else?" And he's like still reaching for the lettuce. I'm like, "Bro, like I'm one thing at a time, all right? Like, don't worry about it. Just do your job, and
Hmm.
I'll let you know." But that's one thing I noticed about them. They're always like they want it all. They want the whole grocery list.
It would probably make their job simpler if everyone just said, "Can I get everything?"
Or
But
nothing. Actually, that
or
would be
nothing.
easier.
It's actually in their best interest to be reductivism. They say like, is that all? Is that all? You're done now,
Mhm.
right?"
Yeah, they should be trying to end the sandwich as soon as possible to meet all
Hmm.
KPIs.
Yeah, dude. If they finish the sandwich in record time, they can tell you at the end you can have 4 minutes back.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, so that
Little
was my
Zoom
order.
humor.
You also went to Subway. This was immediately after. I had it immediately before this episode. You had it immediately after our last episode,
That's
which
true.
we recorded IRL. I
Hmm.
was jealous you didn't invite me. You just went straight to
Well,
Subway without your co-host. I couldn't believe it.
I was in a dark place. I needed to get home. I was flying to San Francisco the next morning. So I had a very small window to eat food between recording this at the last episode and packing my bag and going to bed for an early flight. So I saw the way the glowing green and yellow lights drew me in. I thought, well, a quick sixer couldn't hurt right now. Um,
Hmm.
it was quiet. It was later in the night. It was quite quiet. The artist was just standing ominously in like how there's always a door frame between the front and back of house at the subway. They were
Hmm.
just their silhouette was just like standing there, almost as if been waiting to be turned on when I like walk in the door and the bell like booted them up like hey Google kind of
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
Um, but they were activated. I walked to the counter. I decided to go with flatbread because ever since we invited How Original Podcast on, I've been thinking about flatbread. We had a short discussion about it. Um, 2 episodes ago for the listeners that are just tuning in.
Hmm.
So I hit the flatbread, and that's when I saw the mozzarella that you mentioned earlier, the bella
Mm.
mozzarella.
Oh yes.
Yes, and that it was looking plump. It was looking fresh. It was looking just like the perfect burrata. And I thought I should hit that. And then I thought, well, how do
Mhm.
I build a sandwich that celebrates the mozzarella? So I took the flatbread and I tried to build the best margarita pizza I could off of it.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. And I added a few little fun things in with it, but
You did,
marinara sauce.
you did send me
Yep.
a photo, and it was a really you were, like, eating in your living room with the lights off or something? Um, but you had this, like, flatbread on your coffee table, and I saw, like, marinara kinda peeking out of it, and I was like, "Oh
Mhm.
god, he didn't get the meatball, did he? The meatball
Oh no,
flatbread."
wasn't happening.
Oh,
They've
no.
removed the lab grown meatball from the menu, much to my dismay. But I I march on. I make it do. This is a margarita, not a meatball marinara.
Mhm.
So we loaded on like some typical like vegetables that you might find on a pizza. They stray away from maybe like what you would do in Napoli, but that's okay. A few black olives, a few green peppers. In the sauce department, I went to add the pesto, but they said that it costed more to do, and I wasn't
Of
about that.
course.
Of course, so I nixed that. Um, then some like garlic oil on top, little drizzle.
Oh, they
Yeah,
still
it
have
was.
that? I keep forgetting to use that. It's, like, probably the best, like, secret
Mhm,
menu item there, and it's
I
truly a
agree.
secret.
Yeah, it comes and goes like the tide. A little parm action. It was, and then I never do this, Eric. I never do this, but I took my sandwich home to eat, and
Yeah.
I did that because I always take out pizza. Pizza is something you eat at home on your coffee table, and I thought
Mhm.
if this is really a pizza sandwich, it should hold up
Mhm.
on like the commute home. It didn't. It
Mhm.
tasted so cold and bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah, real soggy. But I digress.
Yikes. Yeah, pizza is, like, one of those things where it's like, I get off on kinda eating it, like, real cold, you know? Like, straight
Oh
out of the
yeah,
fridge, it's actually, like, a little bit better.
it's freaky how good it is. Like some people like microwave or reheat their slice. I ain't about that. I want it to be
Mhm.
a brick.
Yeah. Totally, like, Bae brought home some pizza the other night and then was like, "Oh, do you want me to, like, warm it up for you?" I'm like, "Nah, pass that right here."
Hell yeah.
Let's
Dude, I
go.
love it when the cheese gets so cold that it like becomes one with the crust. Like it's
Mm,
just one single like entity. It's all blended.
mhm. 100%
Mhm.
agree, Ty. I actually had pizza 3 nights in a row this week.
Oh shit.
Um, yeah, that's right. First night, I had a little, Italian style
Mhm.
pizza, and then Bae went out to, Parlor, so I had that kind of pizza. I went from, like,
Mm.
Italian to Yale Townian
Pared walnut
pizza.
with some balsamic drizzle.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and then another pizza place opened up in the area, so I went there as well.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, dude. So I've been eating
I'm
pizza every night, but I gotta say, pizza is one of those things that I like can't ever get sick of.
mhm. Oh, for sure. And the pizza sub is no exception,
Hmm.
assuming that you prepare it well. I
Hmm.
might go check out that new pizza place in your hood tonight. It is
Hmm.
on my to-do list.
Hmm. Beautiful. Well, you'll have to hit me when you do go.
Like physically hit you, I could probably do that.
um, you can bang my line for sure.
And by that you mean bang, like clock you in the face.
Yes, exactly. My jawline.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I just flew in from San Francisco this morning, Eric. I took a red eye. It was a red onion eye. So
Hmm.
clearly I was teary eyed, is what I'm trying to say, from waking up so early to catch it. But I had to get into the city before to start my day. I am a businessman after all. Um,
Hmm.
it was an early lift off, but did while I was in the Bay Area try to venture to a outpost that you are very familiar with, which is the Tonga Room atop Nob Hill.
Excellent.
Hmm.
So it's on Knob Hill. Okay, questionable
Yeah.
name for a hill or anything. Um, please walk me through your entire night, Ty. What did you do before? When did you end up at the Tonga room? What was it like
Mm-hmm.
inside? Please just start to finish,
Yeah,
lay it out.
it's going to be a fantastic story for you because it is really anticlimactic. Here's what
Perfect.
happened. I was dining over in Richmond Hill for the East Coast Breadheads. That's like or like west side of San Francisco. Finished up my activation. Pretty intoxicated at this point. We hop in the Uber, rip across town to head over to Tonga. We roll up to Nob Hill. It's absolute chaos. It's the minute I get out of the car, it's absolute chaos because a member of my set starts vomiting from the alcohol on the side of the road.
Oh
There's
god.
also like an Iggy Pop concert that just got let out in the building next door. So there's
Oh
people
shit.
everywhere screaming. Um,
Mm.
and then we're just like, where is this place at the same time? So lots were happening. Didn't really know what was going on, but waddled over to the Fairmont, found the side door, walked in, walked up to the entrance, walked in, then was immediately and rudely ushered out by
Oh no.
the employees who informed me that it had closed 5 minutes prior.
What? What time
I
did you pull up
know.
at?
11:05. Who closes a bar at 11 p.m. on a Saturday?
That's nuts. I think they probably profiled you, to be honest.
It didn't look like a startup CEO, or anything of that lines. I should have had my like Microsoft T-shirt on.
Yeah. Wow, man, that's unfortunate. So you didn't actually get to go.
I mean, I got to walk in and then was immediately walking out. Um,
Oh, fuck.
it's okay. I walked down the street to another cocktail bar. I had a great time, but the
Mm.
elusive Tonga room once again escapes my itinerary.
Once again, I've been telling Ty to go to the Tonga room for probably the entire time I've known you,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
yeah, and you just like haven't been. I don't know. It's crazy how no matter how hard you try, but you know what? I've always successfully been able to get in, and it's like usually very very packed, and they're
Hmm.
really like they're kind of like sticklers about like the tables there, and like you have to like be eating or like whatever. There's so many rules, and it just kind of just ruins the fun. But I'm always able to like somehow like sweet talk my way in and be like, oh,
Mm.
we're just just gonna stand by the bar and grab a drink. It's no big deal. Like it's just two of us or whatever.
Yeah, you crank that
You're able
charm up
to
to a 12, right?
absolutely. You maybe shake the guy's hand with like a $50 bill in your hand as well, and
Mhm.
you're on your way in, Ty.
Dude, I could have done that, but I was like 9
It's not
drinks
worth
deep
it.
at that point. There was nothing charming about my disposition, but
To
that's
be
okay.
fair, he probably smelled the puke on your friend. It was like
Fair enough.
these fucking guys are not allowed in here.
Mhm. Uh, but it was a good overall trip. I got to do some of my favorite things. Dolores Park is always a good time on a Saturday afternoon. I always like
Oh
to
yeah.
visit my favorite bar of in San Francisco. Shout out to Trick Dog. They have a rotational menu every season where they mix it up and do
Hmm.
something novel. They've done like the menu was just like a bunch of Pantone colors one year. I've been going back there for a long time. Whenever I'm in the city, one
Hmm.
time it was like a calendar. This time when I arrived, the menu was a MoMA brochure, except instead of art installations, it was all pictures of all of the previous menus that had ever been there at Trick Dog, and then
Oh.
in framed portraits all along the wall of the bar. They had put up every menu from their last 10 years. So it was a very meta
Whoa.
experience. It was like walking through the Trick Dog gallery, and then
Hmm.
they made a cocktail off every theme from every theme before, if that makes sense. So
Whoa.
it was pretty cool.
That's actually pretty crazy and very cool, like for you especially, because you've probably
Hmm.
experienced many of them, and just being able to like go
Hmm.
back and be like, oh yeah, I'm actually visiting this place as if it were a gallery because I'm going in and I'm appreciating it for the history and all that stuff and
Totally.
reminiscing. Wow, that's
So
actually kind of serendipitous, Ty.
it was quite special, for a place that just like serves alcohol. Um, and Subway should take notes because that's how you do a menu right, is you make the
Whoa.
menu ordering a experience that you can connect with.
Yeah, that's true. They should play into the nostalgia a little bit more instead of like making it new and fresh. Like ditch the whole
Hmm.
fresh thing. Like it's not a leafy green. You don't need to worry about how fresh it is. You should
Yeah, dude.
focus on tapping into people's like wants and desires, whether it be from today or yesterday. You know what I mean?
The public perception that Subway is something fresh rotted away years ago. So they're clinging on to a false reality. And I think they just need to double down on it. This is where you eat 12 inches of food, way more than you should. And
Hmm.
this is where people that like whose butt crack shows when they bend over come, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
like
You know what's
like their
interesting?
sandwich should be called like the green goddess. It should be called like the crack addict, you know?
Yeah, dude. I like that better, the crack addict.
hmm
Um, I don't know if you noticed, but outside of the Tonga room, Ty, in the hallways of the mysterious Fairmont San Francisco, there
Yeah,
are posters of their previous menus as well. Did you catch those?
I didn't catch those. I was ushered out so quickly and aggressively.
Oh man. Well, it is a long
hmm
walk once you enter the building to kind of navigate to the bar, depending on which entrance you take. Along the
hmm
way, Ty, there are framed like menus from like the 20s, and I don't know if it's the 20s. It's like the 30s or 40s or something. It's like really long time ago. And they have
Cool.
like, oh, this the surf and turf, and it's like $3 for
Mm,
like a steak and lobster. And it's like just you look back and you can't help but think, man, only 10 years ago we were paying $5 for a foot long.
dude, like if Subway did that, which would be so cool if they did, it would
Hmm.
be only like sad and sobering because it'd be like only 4 months ago I paid 30 cents less for the same tuna sub, and then 4 months prior to that, $1 less.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
The tuna sub throughout the ages. It would be pretty cool to see if there's any like discoloration or change in flake size.
Tuna flakes, yeah. Um, um, when you said you went back to your favorite bar in the city, I thought you were gonna say the cursed Blue Bottle Cafe. I was really
Oh yeah,
nervous for you.
their pale ale program goes stupid crazy.
Hmm. I love sitting at the bar at the Blue Bottle and telling my barista my woes.
Dude, they might as well be a cocktail bar because it takes them 15 minutes to do a pour over and it costs $15.
Hmm. And it's like a
So
specialty ice cube.
yeah, it is. Yeah, if you get it iced. I don't know, dude. I didn't go to Blue Bottle this time around. I'm
Hmm.
boycotting Blue Bottle. Big Nestle is the needs to go
Big
down.
Nestle. Oh, does Big Nestle own Blue Bottle now?
Big Nestle bought Blue Bottle a couple of years ago, in their quest to gaslight hipsters.
Oh no.
hmm
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. So you didn't wear my Blue Bottle pin that I gave you when I went to San Francisco.
Mm, I didn't even bring it. I'm so sorry. I keep that in my treasured chest of memories. My lockbox.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, pretty fun time. Spent most of my weekend actually out in MILF Valley, as I like to call it, because it's where all the rich mamas live.
Oh yeah.
It's north of the Golden Gate.
North of the Golden Gate. So is that
hmm
Sausalito?
Near Sausalito, yep. Sausalito's kind of part of Marin County, all that area. You got the rolling
Oh.
hills, you got the ocean, you got all the houses on the hill, you got little ferry boats
Hmm.
coming in and out. You can get like you can spend there's no ceiling to the price you can pay for avocado toast.
Wow. Even more than in the financial district of San Francisco where all the tech bros eat lunch.
Yeah, dude, because tech bros are honestly pretty cheap. You know, they're like want to get a super duper burger, whatever like the lowest tier version of that is,
Hmm.
or they're like just hitting the soylent hard. The cheapest people on earth are like the guys that made money in tech because they had no
It's actually true.
aspirations to be successful. They just wanted to code.
Yeah, they just wanted to like hack girls like Instagram accounts.
hmm
That's why
hmm
they're in tech, and now they work at Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, they don't know what to do with the money, and they are far too logical, quite literally, because they code logic, um, to overpay for brunch.
Yeah, and I think there's also like a thing where you get used to everything just kind of being free, right? It's like you go
Mhm.
to work, lunch is free, you go have free beer at the company bar in the building,
Mhm. Mhm. Hop in the
do whatever
free
you want.
transportation, the private Uber
Yeah.
Black.
Take the
Everything's
free
expensed.
Uber to the free gym and
Yep.
then go to your company subsidized apartment.
Head back to your corporate housing penthouse and sleep in your fully furnished bedroom.
Your Twitter branded Eames chair. Uh,
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
You like Twitter comes in, the Twitter cleaner comes to your Twitter house and they wash your Twitter duvet, so it's all clean when you get home from your hard day's
Yeah.
lunch at Twitter.
Yeah. When Mama Bird knocks on the door of your bird's nest and
Your
drops
nest.
off a new pack of worms for you.
Damn. Do you
Shit,
think they say
man.
that at the bottom of like your hiring package with your corporate housing lease is like bless this nest?
God damn it. Yeah, dude. That I think that's like the biggest thing I don't like about San Francisco, if I'm being honest, is
Hmm.
like the whole stereotype that is unfortunately true of all the tech bros kind of like taking over the city and making it their
Hmm.
own. And you also like see them everywhere and they just stand out way too much for my liking.
For
It's not
sure.
for me, Ty.
There's a culture war going on between the tech bros and then like the hippies of the 60s. And it's pretty fascinating to
Mm,
see both planes of existence living simultaneously.
hmm.
Like I
Both
was
at
driving,
Dolores Park.
yeah, exactly. I was in the back of an Uber and I drove past an autonomous vehicle that was like mapping the roads, but it had
Hmm.
been pulled over by a San Francisco police officer. And they actually had
Oh,
like three squad cars surrounding it so that it couldn't drive away. But there's
oh
no
shit.
humans around. I don't know what they were going to do with it, who they were going to arrest or ticket.
Whoa.
But this is like kind of what's happening on the streets there, on boots on the
Hmm.
ground, or non-existent actually because there's no
Yeah.
humans.
Yeah. Those things, that's a very literal like manifestation of my hatred for San Francisco is those
Mm.
fucking cars with like 80 cameras on them with like some dude in the passenger seat with on an iPad. It's like just like
Hmm.
that. Just like I just like can't stand seeing that.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Really an enigma of a city. It has so many weird things going on that you will see nowhere else.
Hmm. Hmm. Did you did you go to the mission and get some Mexican food?
I skipped the Mexican this time around. I had some beers there. I had some arancini balls. Is that Mexican? Not really.
That's Italian.
um, I did walk down Valencia Street and the rest of the Mission area. Um, Bought some bean bar chocolate and uh, just mostly fluid. But it's always fun to see what thrift stores popping up there. Or I think there's
Hmm.
like an Everlane store there for some reason.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know when I'll ever be back, to be honest.
Oh,
But like
dude,
it's a
you
place you only go when you need to.
you really like House of Prime Rib, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
I went there and it was very good. Did
yeah.
you find like a lab grown like
Yeah.
beef shank or something?
Yeah, instead of House of Prime Rib, it's Laboratory of Prime Rib. No, I didn't make my way over there. I think that's on Polk Street, but I did sit at a bar where across the street, or like the table next to me, I overheard a woman say, "I work at House of Prime Rib, and my 15-year-old boy keeps jacking off at high school."
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Wait, hold on. My 15-year-old boy is jacking off in high school.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with prime rib?
I don't know. She's just like somehow in the same sentence, she said those two completely different things.
Wow. Jacking off in high school.
Yeah, like in the
Who's
bathrooms. And then she's like, and by the way, I work at House of Prime Rib.
huh. Well, she's talking about her. Is it like a bring your kid to work days type of situation, and like he's jacking off in the prime rib bathroom?
I don't know. I think maybe it's like I can't go pick him up from school because I have to wait some tables. I have to
Oh,
serve the rib. He's
mm.
he's rubbing the rib and I'm serving the rib.
Shit, dude. That one
Yeah,
of
isn't
those
that
ribs is
whack
not
though?
prime.
Dude, the minute
Yeah.
I heard the words House of Prime Rib, though, I perked up,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
then the way that narrative went was like crazy.
Hmm. Wow. I'm just remembering now that I went to San Francisco with my in-laws,
Hmm.
similar to you. Um, and that's when I discovered that my in-laws love stealing things from restaurants.
They
So
like the merch.
they love the merch, Ty. And once we got back to Vancouver, I just like we went over there for dinner, and I saw like in their cabinet they had like two huge steak knives that were House of Rib, House of Primer branded. I was like, "Holy fuck! You brought those on the plane."
Damn, they got those
So
through customs.
yeah, I guess so. And then also two very familiar tiki mugs, and I was like, "Wait
Oh,
a second." They looted the House of Prime Rib and the Tonga room, Ty.
wow. I can't believe
Yeah,
that. I ain't about
yeah.
that. Maybe at one point in my life, but
Yeah. I rated the free mints at the door and the
mhm.
matches that they hand out, but no
Consumables.
steak
That
knives
makes
for me.
sense.
Consumables, exactly. They're
Mhm,
meant to be
mhm,
taken.
mhm. Wow, that is very messed up.
Hmm. The same way House of Prime Rib had like tiny little packs of matches at the front of house.
Mhm.
Blue Bottle had a big tub of pins that I could
Yeah.
take. So it's like when you like leave a restaurant, you grab a mint or like some matches to light up a cig. It's like
Mhm.
I grabbed the pin so I could always remember my time at Blue Bottle, and
Mhm.
so I could pass it along to my co-host. How
It's
beautiful is that?
perfect for anyone that has like a Twitter branded backpack that they need to personalize.
Yeah, exactly. I have to make sure I don't mix up my my Everlane notebook at work with with this little
Everyone else's.
yeah. Exactly.
Damn. Well, I mean, like, it's kind of funny because I'm not really about the merch, but then if you think about all of Subway's meat, vegetables, and sauces, they're all kind of like free merch that comes with the bread.
God damn it. Or the gloves. The gloves are technically free tie. If only they branded the gloves.
Hmm.
Like that could actually be a cool merch moment. It's like I don't want my hands to smell. Throw in some blood gloves for me, will ya?
Hmm. Well, I don't understand why they bag your footlong. At the end of the creation of the footlong, they should just turn the glove inside out around the
Oh
sandwich
no.
and then just give it
Like
a
dog
little
shit.
twist. Yeah, like a bag of dog shit and hand it over.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how I
why do
feel
they
about
need to
that.
waste so much plastic?
Yeah, that's a great point. Um
They're taking the gloves
or
off anyways.
or Ty, there's another way you could do this. You could once you take the sandwich out of the bag, once the sandwich is out of the bag, you
Mhm.
can use the bag as a glove and just like put your hand back in the glove and like eat
Yo,
that way.
that'd be so cool if Subway just added like 5 fingers of plastic worth at the bottom of the bag so that it was like a shoulder length, like surgical glove that you actually had a little bit of like dexterity with as well. That's a brilliant idea. I'm gonna sketch this after this. I'm gonna get Midjourney to make this for us.
Yeah. Can you we'll use that in some Think Fresh content. So
Hmm.
please send me a high res PNG of that when you're done.
Yeah, I'll send you the patent as well.
Yeah, exactly. The patent reference number.
Hmm.
Wonderful.
Okay. Well, I think we uncovered a lot today.
We sure did. Um, Breadheads, thank you for listening. We are so
Thank
happy to
you.
be potting for your pleasure.
Hmm.
Hope this episode made you hungry. Hope it made you curious. Hope it fulfilled you in a way
Hmm.
where only a sandwich could do that.
Yes, it's
Um,
been prime ribbed for your pleasure.
that's the episode title.
Wow.
Oh fuck! All right, Ty. Thanks for potting with me today.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, breadheads. Ciao.